well before CPEC. And Terbela Dam is a very, very fine example of that. Now, over the past decade, as a former banker and who has also been involved in some of these financings, I can mention some of the numbers, because China has invested over $20 billion in planned energy projects and therefore transforming the energy landscape of Pakistan. CPEC projects have created 9,000 megawatts of power supply, development of 2/3 coal mines, and first 4,000 megawatt HVDC transmission line. Investment in IPPs by Chinese companies is the largest investment. It's a very, very important data point. Is the largest investment in the history of Pakistan, both in terms of debt and equity. Ladies and gentlemen, let's applaud that. These IPPs also created opportunities for use of our natural resource, third coal, and setting up of my Mouth project, while provide some of the cheaper power to Pakistan today. These IPPs also open doors for new roles and new classes of investors, largest Chinese SOEs with billions of dollars of assets, coupled with new structures in terms of project financing backed by Sinosure. At this stage, while we are seeking support from these Chinese companies and lenders to provide us some relief on financing terms, we remain absolutely committed to service all our obligations to the projects and lenders. Now, Chinese IPPs, as we all know, are most diverse and largest investors in Pakistan. Energy sector, with investments in hydel, there's investment in wind, there's investment in solar, of course fossil fuel is there, and as Minister Tara just mentioned, is going to be an important enabler for executing CPEC Phase 2. CPEC Phase 1 was all about creating the infrastructure, and Phase 2 was always about monetizing that infrastructure to create the exportable surplus for Pakistan. Unfortunately, we missed a few years during this whole transition plan, but under Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and his leadership and his cabinet, with the President right behind it, with the Chief of Army Staff right behind it, we are very committed in terms of taking CPEC Phase 2 forward, which is all about B2B. Now, I'll just take, I know I was allotted three minutes, so I've gone a bit over that, but I just picked up this report. I've just seen that. And therefore, I just want to mention a couple of things which I saw in this report as I flicked through it. So some of the pain points which have been mentioned by the companies here in Pakistan, one can relate to that. So I've just picked up a little over 50%, where that threshold is 50%. I've just picked up those points where these pain points are there. Lack of policy continuity, instability of PKR exchange rate, difficult in FX remittance due to FX control, high security risks and high security inputs, low administrative efficiency. And one can relate to all of these pain points which have been mentioned by all our friends here and who have been here with us for a while. Now, what I can say, as we have moved towards macroeconomic stability, that and as you've seen in the last 12 to 14 months, the exchange rate have been stable. The foreign exchange reserve in the next 2 weeks will touch $11 billion, which means we are going to get to roughly 2.5 months of import cover. The global standard and global good standard is 3 months of import cover. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming from where we were in 2 weeks of import cover. So we've moved in the right direction. So I can assure all our friends here that inshallah, the hiccups that you have seen and the delay that you have seen in terms of your FX and dividend remittances, inshallah, will not recur. Lack of policy continuity, you are absolutely right. And under Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif's leadership, we always say the government has no business in being in business. Government has to provide policy framework and policy continuity. So you're absolutely right that we need to to provide that level of continuity. The high security risks, the Honorable Ambassador is here. He knows very well, under President, Prime Minister, Chief of Army Staff. We are very committed. The Interior Minister, who is working day and night to make sure that this is done, notwithstanding the unfortunate incident that was just mentioned earlier in the meeting today. But we are very committed. And low administrative efficiency. We say it to our Chinese friends. We said it to our Saudi Arabian friends a couple of days back, from red tape to red carpet. And we are absolutely clear that we need to bring down the level of bureaucracy and the level of red tapeism that we have in the government, and we remain committed to that. So what you have mentioned here in terms of your pain points, first of all, we relate to that as government, and we are very clear that we need to do something about it. Now, part two, which is very encouraging, that notwithstanding these pain points, what you mentioned here, my friends, is that majority of Chinese companies are optimistic about the order situation in the next 3 months. Among them, 50% or 47.9% expect their newly signed order amounts or purchase volumes to remain stable, and roughly 40% expect growth, which is absolutely music to my ears, music to our government's ears. 37% of the companies have indicated that they will expand their production sales in the future, and roughly 25% are saying they will increase their workforce. I won't go more into detail of this, but these are what the Minister mentioned, what the Honorable Senator mentioned. This is the true test of long-standing partnerships. Notwithstanding the pain points, you, along with us, remain optimistic about the future of Pakistan. And Mr. Wong, I'm very grateful to you for the invitation today, but also for the first time publishing this kind of report, because this brings transparency. This brings transparency. So I'm very grateful to you. On behalf of the government, we remain very committed, and as Minister Tarar said, we are absolutely over the moon. We are excited that Premier Lee is going to be here as part of the SCO conference, and we look forward to reciprocating even a small portion of the generous hospitality that we received when we were there in Beijing with Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, the generosity which was extended to us by President Xi and Premier Lee. Once again, thank you very much.